very long-reaching hitboxes, which is really good against Peach because her moves are kind of stubby. But in practice, it can be a lot closer because if Peach gets in, her punish game is huge.
Oh, okay.
And we're taking
Zelda?
that. You didn't transform, you're taking 77.
Wow.
We're here to win. We're here
God.
to game. Oh my God, and that might be the whole stock
Yeah.
of not holding A. You guys need to remember to hold that button. The new kids start forgetting.
This is crazy. Wow. Okay, just the full stock off transforming to Zelda.
I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't...
Don't give your opponents handouts, you know? They're the one who didn't switch.
I can't say I would do the same thing, but
I wouldn't.
I respect
No,
it.
I wouldn't. But
Yeah.
I respect it at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, hey, it is Sheik Peach too. You need any
That's the
matchup
thing. Yeah,
advantage
you
can
need
get.
anything you can get, right? And he's got the gunk tag on. You know, another word for gunk is, you know, synonym might be grime. You know. But I
Yeah.
respect it. You know, that's a competitor's mindset.
Yeah. I mean, that is the Sheik player's fault. Wait, which one is the Sheik player? Is it F0xy?
I believe so. Yes, because F0xy's the one that sat down second. I think Wigwam was the one that.
Okay.
Wigwam Delilah.
Wigwam Delilah.
Crazy tag, by the way.
Funny tag.
And I love on the overlay they've got the little seed marker. Look out for that in chat, everybody. They got everyone's seed here. So this is actually a very closely seeded match. It's a 68 versus 61.
Yeah.
And you know the Peach went out to an early lead because of the Zelda transformation, of course. But you know it's evened up a lot now. And this is, you know, 1 or 2 aerials away from being pretty much a dead even. But if you're the thing about this though is if you're the Sheik, you really, really want it to be back to even stocks because you want to be in a situation where Peach has to come to you because that's where Peach struggles the most, right? Is like when she has to come to you and her hitboxes aren't that aren't the you know longest, aren't the most disjointed. She's not the fastest character in the game. She's really good at walling you out, but Sheik is also really good at walling you out. So the lead is like a huge thing in this matchup.
Yeah, yeah. Peach definitely thrives off of whip punishing and trades and that sort of thing. And
yes,
her approach is very bad compared to most top tiers. So,
which is not to say that Peach's approaches can't be scary. It's honestly, it's like once Peach is within a certain range, it actually gets really scary because then she can dash attack, she can threaten flow cancel in there, she can threaten grab, but when she's more at that like mid-range trying to get into your bubble, that's when it's the hardest because that's when she can box her out with fair, box her out with bear, shoot needles at her, and just like make her life hell. But if you're Peach right now, you have the luxury of not having to go in. You can kind of throw those turn-ups, you can kind of do aerials in place. That being said though,
Wigwam Delilah is aggressive
right
now.
Going in the whole time.
Yeah, and it's also like, you know, Peach has very good shield pressure, even though Sheik has a good shield. Wigwam Delilah's, you know, if they see the shield, they're definitely hitting it and trying to get something
absolutely
plus on there.
Peach actually, I think, has like probably the 3rd best shield pressure in the game after the Spaceys, just because of float cancel. For anyone in the chat who doesn't know, I'm sure you all do, but you know, float cancel makes you have basically no lag. You just have normal landing lag. So even though Peach's aerials don't seem like they're that fast, they barely have any lag. So you can use a like nair, down smash on shield that pokes almost every time, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, Wigwam Delilah coming out to a pretty strong start that first game. Even discounting the Zelda transformation, the Sheik player got it back to pretty much even, and then Wigwam was still able to 2-stock. So, you know, good momentum going into game 2. And going back to the same stage is interesting.
Yeah, it's I don't know what the usual counter pick. I guess Yoshi's is probably banned.
Yeah, I'd assume so.
You're like, I'm a Sheik player. I like Battlefield, so
yeah. Plus, like, I feel like Stadium when it's on, it's like when it's in the default position for the first like minute and a half or so is pretty good for Sheik. But then once the transformations come in, you're kind of rolling the dice, right? Because if it's rock or if it's fire, I think Peach kind of thrives in that close quarters situation where she can throw out those big hitboxes, or not big hitboxes, but like juicy hitboxes, you know, like stuff that gets you big damage. Down smash is really strong on rock transformation. So I think that there might be a little bit of that coming into play where it's like, I don't, you know, maybe not a lack of confidence that F0xy can get the lead before they go into transformations. Ooh. Oh. Not quite getting that back air. That was a good idea, but you know, Wigwam just spacing outside of it. Nice.
All right, F0xy.
F0xy in a lead.
First lead of the set so far.
Yeah, this is a chance to get the momentum back. The thing is, though, is when you're at a lead, but you're at high percent, it can be kind of scary to like still play your game, right? Because you're like, oh, I really want to keep this lead. But it's really important that you keep doing what got you the lead in the first place.
F0xy's been really liking that dare coming down, either off of a double jump or out of lag. So I wonder if Wigwam Delilah starts calling that out. I can barely say this person's tag. It is hilarious, though. And probably
Stitch face.
Stitch doesn't
not quite getting the catch. Yeah, I think it's a reference to that like troll Drake song.
Drake, yeah. So it has to be a recent.
The Wigwam Delilah. But I think it might also be a reference to something else, because I think it's spelled a little bit differently than they did in the song. Anyway, though, enough about the tag. I think you're definitely right, though. Like F0xy has been falling down with a lot of aerials, not necessarily in the safest ways. I've been falling down with some, lingering down airs, with some lingering nairs. And, that can be a little bit risky sometimes, because Peach is a prolific CC'er, a prolific ASDI downer, and so she can really punish you if you aren't careful. So especially at low percents, I think F0xy needs to be careful about that. And Wigwam Delilah needs to, go for those CC punishes and whatnot.
Yeah, just looking for a jab fair, down throw fair, something to take the stock, but a grab, scouts out the double jump.
Yeah. And like you were saying, came down with that same down air, and Wigwam Delilah was ready for it and, spaced it out with the back air.
Yeah, this Peach is definitely very aggressive and definitely very willing to push the advantage when they feel like they have it.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh, I'm just trying to come back, trying to get center stage. That's one of the problems in this matchup is like, you always want center stage, but at the same time, you don't want Peach to be close to you. So you're kind of playing this game of like, I'll give up a little bit of space because I don't want you right next to me, but I don't want to give up too space because then if I'm in the corner, I can't give up any more space, and then you're right next to me for sure. So F0xy kind of has to play that tightrope where, you're boxing out Peach, you don't want her too close, but also at the same time, you don't want to corner yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'd like to see F0xy use the top platform a bit more to achieve that.
I agree. Absolutely.
F0xy has not gone to the top platform at all.
Yeah, and that's a big strength on this stage. You're on the side platform, you're feeling cornered, but you can either go below or above, and Peach has a hard time of, getting vertical momentum. Like, she falls slowly, and she also doesn't jump that high because of her double jump. You can kind of see where she's coming with that. Oh,
this is a lot of damage. Gets the tech roll read.
Yeah, and Wigwam's going for the jugular. This could be the set. I believe this is best of 3.
Yeah.
Ooh, and that's so tough if you're F0xy. You probably live this, but you still get put in kind of the rinse repeat. You need to find a way out. Maybe go to platform. Gets out, but goes right back into the corner and gets hit again. Gets a little ECB clip. That was a nice recovery. And gets the stock, but F0xy needs to be really careful. Any nair, any down smash, and even a back air or something is really bad.
Yeah, that spot dodge might do it for F0xy.
Another nair, yeah, cross stage. Oh, we're all best of 5. All right, all right.
All right, well, I would like to see maybe Yoshi's that.
Yeah, in that case, I think we need to spice up the counter picks a little bit.
I didn't realize this was all best of 5, so that's good to know for my
yeah, right.
my wave.
There we go. There we go.
Yoshi's.
Yeah, and I think this stage can feel a little cramped, so I understand being hesitant. But like we were saying, F0xy hasn't really been playing that kind of like circle campy game plan, and so I feel like the lower blast zones are going to help a lot, because as we saw, a lot of the time when F0xy got off stage, even if they didn't die at first, it was like taking a lot of damage. Getting put in the rinse repeat. You go on stage, you get down smash. You go on stage, you get down smash. You go on stage, you get naired, right? So it doesn't really matter too much if your opponent is edge guarding you really well, if you're going to die off the side, because if you're going to die 5 hits later, it doesn't matter if you're going to die, right? So, but it does matter because it's really hard to edge guard Peach. So if you kill her off the side, that makes your life way easier, while their life is pretty much the same.
Yeah, yeah. Some Peaches definitely like this stage in some matchups, but overall, I think definitely better for F0xy's playstyle here.
Yeah.
Let's see. F0xy does make it back. Gets out with the weak bear. Oh. I don't know if you can live that after the like edge cancel jump squat or whatever that was.
Yeah.
There.
That is one of the unfortunate parts about like this stage is like when you do make a mistake and you fall off stage, that blast zone on the bottom is so close. Like you really can SD very easily.
And Wigwam Delilah again clawing back the lead.
Yeah.
Small lead.
And I feel like something that's been pretty apparent is like Wigwam Delilah is just not feeling as pressured as f0xy is. There's a lot of like f0xy getting scoped out on these rolls, f0xy getting scoped out on like the landings, whereas Wigwam Delilah I feel like is playing a little bit more comfortable, you know? Ooh, over 100 getup's gonna make that edge guard not so easy there. And it's kind of an unfortunate position to be in as Peach because you don't have a ledge dash. Your ledge hop isn't that good. So after you're 100, you kind of need to do the like neutral get up really early, and they can kind of screw you over sometimes.
Yeah, you definitely can't cover every option. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you get up early as a read, and then they go to ledge. And,
Exactly. That being said, though, Gunk just gets it the old-fashioned way. Just, you know, nair, kill off the top.
the old-fashioned way. This Peach is still doing it.
Yeah, the
like
97-year-old
2001.
Peach doing it the old-fashioned way. Ooh, nice spacing on that. I love that late hit of the nair into the down tilt.
Yeah, that is a classic. Would like to see that a little more.
Yeah, those are the two kind of nairs you want to do as shield as Sheik is either the Sammy nair, which is like super low with the strong hit, or you want to do it with like the very end of it, like the very tiptoe of your nair and the very end of the animation, because both end up being safe on shield. Oh, no jump. I think I accidentally used the jump when they were floating.
Yeah, and that's really big for f0xy here. See if they can get a little more damage. Not much.
But that's the thing. I feel like f0xy has felt so pressured whenever there's like a situation where they're in a stock lead. They feel like they need to keep it, and it ends up making Wigwam Delilah able to get it back so easily. I feel like f0xy sometimes needs to stick to their game plan a little bit more, but which is hard, you know? It is a scary situation.
Oh, messes up the fair, trying to get the tech.
Ooh.
Roll in, down smash. No tech chase.
Oh, and Wigwam's just gotten so much percent. That's the thing, once Peach gets in, it's so much damage. That being said, though, can't take many more of these aerials. On Yoshi's, these are going to kill pretty soon. Yeah, that's going to be it. On the board for f0xy.
Yeah, that's big. f0xy, mini pop-off, keeping this set alive. And Peach goes to FD maybe here?
Yeah, I think FD. I think as Peach, your first is FD, your second is FOD.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, okay. Going to FOD. Initially thought FD, but then LRA started and went to FOD. I think either works here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just how comfortable you are with your like up air combos and your juggles versus like, you know, do you want that kind of version, better edge guarding, better juggles, or do you want like to scrap? And I feel like Wigwam Delilah has been scrapping for a lot of this set, so it kind of makes sense. You want that lower space, but you want the bigger blast zones that FOD offers. And especially since like Peach doesn't really kill Sheik off the top, but Sheik does kill Peach off the top, right? So the fact that it's kind of closer on the sides, but way higher on the top is pretty good for Peach in this matchup. Yeah,
I think either would be a good idea. f0xy taking another early lead here.
Yeah. And, you know, it seems to have figured out a few things. It's been doing a lot better. Honestly, it's been playing a little bit more reserved. It's trying to be, you know, keeping Wigwam out of that scrapping area.
Yeah, and also a lot less rolling from f0xy, which they were getting scouted out in the past few games. So.
Yeah, we were talking about some habits that f0xy was having with the rolls and with the falling with down air. And so far in this game, I haven't seen either, which is great. Also hasn't been getting hit by these like multi-hits of down smash. Has been getting good DI and has been avoiding them as well.
Yeah, now this is kind of looking pretty tough for yeah, really anybody said here. So looking for a down tilt, a grab.
Ooh.
Nice trade with the bear.
Yeah, I don't think that f0xy thought that they were going to get hit by that, and so the DI wasn't quite there.
Yeah. Oh, gets the shield out, but
gets the shield poke,
smash, yeah.
Even as Sheik, when you have this giant shield, nobody's safe from the shield poke on down smash.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you were saying earlier, like Peach definitely has a lot of advantages on shield between her frame data on aerials and down smash and her grab and jab as well. So.
And f0xy has really been doing a great job of like making Wigwam come to them and then just stuffing them out for it, you know. Wigwam, we've talked about how they really want to scrap. Oh, and you know, saving the down air for a rainy day, and it actually works out this time because you haven't been representing it as much.
Yeah, those sorts of things definitely work when you do them like once a game. Yeah. Oh, crouching under the float there from Wigwam Delilah.
Oh, and that's the over 100 again, kind of screwing over Wigwam.
2 stocks apiece, but any grab will kill. Wigwam Delilah gets a grab. That air dodge has been working out quite a lot for f0xy as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Peach kind of has to choose between, like, are you going to cover ledge or are you going to be on stage? Because you don't have, like I said, you don't have a ledge dash, you don't have a good ledge hop. So I think f0xy has made a good adaptation where it's like, wait a second, you're going to ledge every single time. I don't need to represent that option. I can just go right above you, and you don't have a way to deal with it very well. That being said, though, Peach, a volatile character, can build damage so quickly, but I think went for the right read. I like the ambition, but just was a little bit too late.
Yeah, just fell,
we got a game 5
fell
as our
sadly
first set.
past the ledge. Game 5. Hey, shout out to round 1 being best of 5. Definitely made the set a lot more exciting.
Okay, Dreamland, this is the one that we haven't talked about. I do think that it is good for Peach, but it's, in my eyes, it's kind of a gambit on getting the first stock or getting the lead. If you get the lead, it's great. It's heaven, right? You have all this space to work with in the world. You can pull turnips. You can, you know, just live forever. If you lose the lead and the Sheik main is like really capitalizing on it, all of a sudden you're getting needle camped. You're getting circle camped. You can't catch her. So if f0xy plays this correctly, I think that this can kind of be a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I think that's just like a general fact about melees. This stage historically has been like heaven for floaties, but then as people started getting more patient and just also faster using the platforms and stuff, it's tough for slower characters to keep up on a stage this big. So
absolutely, especially a slower character that has trouble getting vertical distance as fast, like Peach, where with her kind of slower double jump, you know, it's really hard for her to challenge you on top platform.
It also doesn't feel like a stage for this Peach's playstyle, but Fountain did, and Fountain just didn't really work out. So
yeah, so it's like, you know, but at a certain point, I feel like it's like, you know, you can pick all the different stages you want, but f0xy has made some great adaptations, which I think is the real thing that's driving this reverse 3-0 attempt.
Yeah. But, I mean, Wigwam Delilah definitely could live for a long time.
Absolutely, still in it.
Here.
Still in it. Peaches have been known to live to 180 on this stage, and so if you get a down smash or a good combo, and then you know, also get the most out of your stock, then this could swing the other way very quickly.
Yeah, if that up air was at knockdown %, that definitely could have been almost even. No jump, no float. Oh.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe like a ledge hop fair from f0xy. But yeah, like I said, Wigwam gets back there and has been able to get so much damage that this is basically even, considering the fact that Sheik is going to get edge guarded a lot harder than Peach. That being said, though, you know, the ever reliable down throw up air.
Yeah, that's definitely just tough. You just can't get grabbed there, which is difficult to do against Sheik.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely. She's not a character where like she can force situations where you might be getting grabbed.
Oh, this is
oh my
lot
God,
of
so
percent.
much damage.
Just charges needles instead of going for the shark there.
Yeah, and Wigwam really needs to find this kill and stop the bleeding, because like we were saying, like Peach can live for a while here, but if you lose your stock first here, it's very, very difficult to get it back, like get that lead back.
Oh,
nice off attack.
Yeah. Definitely a good way to go about it. There's like some players who are good at doing the thing where you get hit by 2 hits of down
you
smash.
DI down on the first one, DI up on the second one.
Yeah, but I mean that's also a little tricky, you know. Maybe just offset tech on Sheiks are just used to it, and then
I think that technically the getting hit by 2 is a little bit better because when they offset tech, you can then go for like a nair if you're really ready for it. But game 5, you know, when you haven't been representing that option as much, it's unlikely that your opponent's going to be ready for it, and Wigwam definitely wasn't.
Yeah, this is a pretty big lead for Sheik, but Wigwam Delilah has gotten some big combos earlier in the set, so
Yeah, and I think honestly, a big thing here is like, you know, you want to get your openings, but you don't need to rush it. You have 4 minutes left on the clock. You know, like Sheik will nickel and dime you if you can with the needles, but that's not as bad as getting hit with a fair when you're trying to go in, and then maybe getting hit with a grab or getting hit by a walling down tilt into 3-hit combo, and then maybe even a stock. You know, so I feel like, you know, you kind of need to take it slow. But that being said, I mean, Wigwam has shown that they really want to scrap and they really want to be there. So, you know, more power to them.
Oh, goes back to ledge. That was tough. I could not tell that they're going to ledge.
That was
there.
ambiguous, yeah.
And that recovery might be able to steal the set.
Yeah,
for
that
F0xy.
might be the game-winning recovery there.
And F0xy's also starting to fall back into the rolls and the double jumps and stuff, but it might not matter.
Yeah, but at this point, you're both nervous, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are both nervous, for sure.
That's a surefire tell there.
Yeah. Oh, this should be it.
That's it, yeah.
Wow, great job by F0xy.
Yeah,
Reverse 3-0.
huge adaptations. And